You may have heard the phrase, it takes 2 points to make a line. That's literally all you need to know to make a line is you just have to have 2 points. Well, we have a formula that we use called the slope formula anytime we want to use 2 points to find a line. Now I'm going to be honest with you, the slope formula, it looks crazy. But it's actually really easy to use once you figure out what everything means. So the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now notice, I put the second one in parentheses. The formula doesn't specifically say to do that, but I think you need to always do that because we're dealing with integers here. Integers are really easy to make mistakes on. So this is what the formula looks like. Now, this formula is on the math chart. It's on the math reference materials, but it doesn't do you any good if you don't know what y1, y2, x1, and x2 are. So what those letters refer to is they refer to the way that we write coordinates. So a coordinate is always written as x, comma, y. Okay? Since we have 2 coordinates, I'm going to have 2 x's and 2 y's. So I got to label them so I know which one's which. So I'm going to write x and y, x and y. This is the first ordered pair, so this is going to be x1 and y1. This is the second ordered pair, so this is going to be x2 and y2. Now that I've got them labeled, it's just a matter of plugging them into the formula. Getting these labeled is the biggest problem that I see folks having. Like they'll just say these are both x's. I mean, remember, an ordered pair is always x comma y. This is ordered pair number 1, and this is ordered pair number 2, and that's why we label them like that. Okay, so I'm going to substitute in exactly what I see. So this one is y2. So instead of y2, I'm going to put 16. This is y1, negative 6. So I'm going to put minus, in parentheses, negative 6. Now, this right here is why it's important to put that in parentheses, because honestly, it's really understandable to think, oh, it's already got a minus sign. I don't need to put the other one. You have to. It makes a difference. It completely changes the problem if you don't. Always put them in parentheses. It doesn't always end up being something that you need to do, but if you always do it, then when you need it, you'll already be doing it. Okay, so I've got the top part done. Now I'm going to look at my x's. So I have x2 right here, which is 15, minus x1 right here, which is negative 19. Okay, now when I see integers, I bust out my calculator. 8th graders get to use a calculator on the STAR test. There is no reason not to. I know I said I wouldn't talk about STAR, but I mean, if you get to use a calculator, there's no reason not to. You don't want to make arithmetic mistakes, okay? So I'm going to put 16 minus, and I'm going to put exactly what I see, negative 6. That is exactly what I have written down. I hit enter, and then I let the calculator do its magic, and I got 22 up there. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, 15 minus, parentheses, negative 19, close parentheses, and I got 34. Okay, now I can reduce that myself. If I do, I get 11/17. But I can also let the calculator do it for me. At our school, we use TI-84 pluses. I can put 22 divided by 34. I get some crazy number. I hit math, enter to turn it into a fraction, and I get 11/17. Go me. So the slope of this line is 11/17. Let's try this one. Again, we're just going to we're going to use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I have this formula, so I know I need to label my coordinates. I have x and y on both of them. This is the first one. This is the second one. The first one gets 1s. The second one gets 2s. Now I'm going to start substituting. y2 is negative 9 minus y1, which is 9. x2 is 7 minus x1, which is negative 6. And then again, I'm going to let my calculator do the magic, because again, negative 9 minus 9, I get negative 18. 7 minus negative 6, I get 13. And again, I can put negative 18 divided by 13 in my calculator, hit math, enter, enter, and it gives me negative 18/13. Sure, I found that it was already reduced, but I'm not ashamed to do a couple extra steps and make sure I got the right answer. Okay, let's take a look at this one. All right, so I have x1, y1, x2, y2. My formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is negative 20 minus y1 is negative 20. Whoopsie, that's 20. x2 is negative 18 minus x1 is 15. Negative 20 minus negative 20 is 0. Negative 18 minus 15 is negative 33. Well, 0 divided by anything is 0. I can still check that by putting 0 divided by negative 33 in my calculator, and I get 0. So the slope of this line is 0. And I can kind of tell that because I have the same y value. So I know that if I graph these, I'm going to go over 15 down 20, over 18 down 20, and when I connect those 2 points, they're going to be horizontal. Okay? Let's look at this last one. I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I got to label them. X, y, x, y. These are my 1s. These are my 2s. y2 is 12 minus y1 is negative 18. x2 is 11 minus x1 is 12. 12 minus negative 18 is 30. 11 minus 12 is negative 1. 30 divided by negative 1 is negative 30.